Ooh, let me see what my mic is doing. They don't let me see what my mic is doing. Is it up here or is it this guy? I don't know. Sorry, everybody. Hello, Brett. Okay. Hang on. I had it loaded somewhere else. That's so embarrassing. Okay, we're not getting any feedback. That's wonderful. I just heard my cat start honking off, so sorry about that. You guys can hear me, I hope. You are my favorite actresses. I don't identify as an actress, but thank you. I identify as an actor, but that's also cool. Thank you. I appreciate the compliments. The sentiment is always there. I'm actually not going to be talking about VO today much. This is an intuitive live. So if you joined me last time I did a live, it was for tsunami stuff, and this one is a little bit different. I'm also a medium. It's something that I didn't know I could do, and I've been doing for about 3 years. I love it. You were great as Sarah on Tsunami. Thank you. That's very sweet. Oh, okay. Cup of tea says with $3 worth of sugar and cookies. Oh, hey. Oh, hello to you too. Let me make sure. What's weird with YouTube is I feel like I can't get all my audio and all that like working as it goes. So hopefully we're all good. If we're not, it's fine, right? Like we're all just gonna survive. You can hear me. It's good. I have no idea if it's gonna be my mic. So it'll be fine. You're a medium. I'm a 2XL. All right, Keith, I see you. Um, yeah, I thought about that too. Like when I tell people I'm a medium, it sounds like a size. It sounds like I'm talking about that. But if we want to talk, we can talk about that if you want. Oh, hi, baby. Drew's here. You're so bright and shiny. You are. You are. It's called taking it off of auto white balance, everybody. Forrester's here. Our first guest of the day is stopping by. I forgot to bring my familiar in, so I'm going to go do that. Forrester, are you coming in? Are you helping the people? Let's go. We got to help the people. Come on. Well, okay, we'll see if Forrester wants to come in. Forrester, if you don't know, is my cat. He is my helper. He sometimes will give me messages for people. That's his box that he likes to be in. Here he comes. Sometimes he is or isn't allowed in the room, depending on what's happening. So this is some VO stuff. When I do record, sometimes he's allowed in and sometimes he's not, because sometimes he will have notes, and I have to respect those. So, all right, buddy. All right, here we go. So the way this is going to work is there's been a strike going on, the writer's strike. A lot of friends who are part of it, that are part of the WGA, that are pre-WGA, that are affected. And if you're in the industry, you're affected because you want to support your friends that need equal pay, or people or people you just respect and appreciate, or just are general humans. So a lot of people are not working right now. And also because they're not working, there's not a lot of money coming in, which is why I wanted to do something that was a little bit more accessible this week. But also it's been a wacky week, a lot of wacky energy this week. So if you want to know something, then type it in the chat. There's no way to do a queue like there is in some lives. So type it in the chat and I'll kind of get to you as I can. But yeah, if you are asking for a reading, just know that this is for funsies. Please don't take everything that I say as your life is going to change dramatically and your world will crumble and all that stuff. This is just to get some guidance, just to get some help, all that stuff that keeps me legal on YouTube. Um, and Forrester's here. So those things are happening. If you want to know something, the payment today, you do not have to pay me directly. You have to do something nice for somebody else. So if you want anything from me this week, please, or at least in this chat, like we do privates. But if you are looking for any sort of guidance this week, just know that the payment is do something nice for somebody else. Everybody is going through it. And the best thing that we can do is I can give to you guys and you can give to other people. Does that make sense? We all got the payment today. That's what we're doing. Okay. I'm just going to see what's popping on. Okay. Yeah, Sarah's great. All right, thank you. My day is going well and I'm here to help people. So if you've got a question, pop it on in. If you don't, and this is specifically intuitive questions, I'm not really here to answer about my career necessarily. So unless you have an intuitive question, if you want to ask about my intuitive career, then that's totally fine. But if you want to ask about a VO question, I'll do another one like I did last week just for that. I'm not going to do that right now. So again, let's wait till next week, not to be a jerk, but kind of here for that stuff. So please respect that and pop in if that's okay. Yeah. All right. You guys can hear me okay, I hope. All right. Forrester. I know I keep saying that. Let's see where I want to go. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, I was reading about how the experience for series writers has changed over the last few years, especially over the pandemic. Yes. I actually have a special guest that's going to come up and talk. I know we just introduced one guest, but while we are sort of waiting for questions, I think now might actually be a good time to bring up somebody who wanted a live reading and also somebody to explain some stuff that's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and text them, see if they'll pop on in. I could just yell over the stairs, but I think this is probably a little bit less disruptive to see what's happening. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what's going. Yeah, it's just that it's almost like since streaming things aren't valued as much. So and they should be. I think everybody's been seeing the articles going around of all these billionaires giving themselves huge bonuses. See if our guest is coming. Forrester's here. Oh, it's straight up chaos today. Forrester just knocked my phone over. So his message is touch me. This is Dave. For those of you who haven't met Dave, he's been on he's been around my medias. Dave Lyons, everybody. Let me move this a little bit more center. So Dave, Keith had a question. I was reading about the experience for series writers and that it's changed over the last few years, especially of the pandemic. What do you have to say about that with your experience? You've kind of survived some writer strikes.
Yeah, I was location scouting during the writer's strike of 2007, which kept me working when the writers weren't. This one's a little different. I had friends that worked at both, I guess I shouldn't name names, but fuck it, Ellen DeGeneres and Conan O'Brien.
Woo.
And they had basically associate producers writing monologues and, just getting around all of it. They can't do that now because the lights. Social media has changed significantly.
Yeah. Why? So something that we were talking about earlier, you and I, was the difference in the previous strike and this strike. Like, what's the difference?
You can't get away with anything anymore. Like, just everybody's got a camera. And if people are trying to circumvent the rules, then they're going to get busted.
Right.
I was trying to go and walk with my friends at Warner Brothers. And because I'm in a union, my union's not on strike. So legally, I can't go there.
And my union is supporting the strike.
Mine is as well.
Yeah.
But we cannot physically picket a studio.
Oh, something that that I found interesting was the difference in pay between the last strike was what, 2007, and then this strike, 2023. What's the difference in pay that people are asking for?
Well, back then it was about this streaming media was relatively new. YouTube had just turned 2 years old, and nobody had figured out how to monetize it yet.
Yeah.
Story of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, networks are making billions of dollars on streaming services. Warner Brothers Discovery just had a meeting in the past couple days that they are supposed to be turning a profit off of their streaming services much sooner than expected. And they're giving each other bonuses, but they're not paying the writers their fair share. They do these things called mini rooms where they just have a handful of writers write the entire arc of a series, instead of paying like a proper room. Or they'll have, I don't know, there's a million ways that they're screwing people over, but it's not just about the writers, because I know some very wealthy writers. I know writers that can barely afford rent.
Yeah.
And it's more about not writers in general, but all of the unions. Like I'm a Teamster, I'm a location manager, and they're going to find a way to not pay me what I'm doing. It's more about the corporation trying to take money away from the working class and putting it in their own pockets.
Thank you for summing that up. I hope that was educational for the one person who is still here. Thank you so much.
I'm really bringing them in with my union talk.
You know what? I feel bad because somebody wanted me to say a Sarah line, and I was like, you know what? That's not today. But this is just how we're doing it. So I really appreciated that, like that summary. And I think, I don't know, I really wanted to come on here specifically because so many people were dealing with not just inequality in pay, but also just insecurity in future work.
Yeah.
And so part of what I do is I help people pivot. I help people figure out other lines of work, other ideas, other things that are coming, and may not necessarily know when the next thing is happening, but we can kind of play. So let's sort of talk about predictions, right? So your prediction for how long this will take is?
The last one lasted 100 days, and that wasn't like, it was coincidence that it was 100 days. That wasn't a magical number that people are like, we need to hit 100.
Yeah.
That's just when they settled.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, and first of all, let me predicate this by saying anyone outside of the room where the negotiations are happening doesn't know shit. I've been in negotiations with the producers for my own union, and we're very tight-lipped about anything that happens inside that room. However, the writers have these demands, and the producers were not countering, at all. They're just like, screw you.
So how long do you think this one will take?
I would be surprised if it didn't last less than 50 days.
Okay. So that's what we're going to call the educated guess. I think that is a great thing to throw out. So if you're somebody that's going through this or has friends affected by it, you're watching this, the Dave Lyons,
the over-under.
The over-under is 50 days. But also, I kind of want to do a general reading for anybody that's affected by that. And I think Forrester is going to help me. So I've got to kind of get into this.
Not a real doctor.
Not a real doctor. So let me see. Dave is allowed to be here. Forrester is allowed to be here. Let me just go ahead and protect. Ground. We're kind of moving from talk show time into reading time. So it just takes me a second. Thank you so much for everybody who will future listen to this. This is an important time when people are learning that stability is not the norm, when stability is no longer part of the water. The water is not a lake, it is an ocean. And remember, there are tides. There is water moving in different ways. Please honor the fact that this is a Scorpio full moon, and honor the ocean, honor the way that that moves. That is the water of this season. Okay. They didn't give us any numbers yet, but got a whole monologue on water. All right, let's see what's happening. Forrester, are you going to help? No, I'm just going to leech on me. All right, so I'm going to ask. Dave's number that he gave is 50. Is that a good assumption. Yes, we think it will take more than 2 months, however. We think that more than 2 months is an appropriate time. So if that is 60 plus days in human time, 61, 62, we are thinking it is somewhere in the sixes, but we cannot guarantee. There are so many lives that are going into this. It is a hard number to necessarily predict for us. So please know that it is a good time to pick something else to occupy. You may get drowned in the fact that you are not working. Your work may define who you are, and this might make you sad. We do not want you to be sad. We want you to be able to explore other options as the world is changing so much. Entertainment is changing. Things are becoming new, opening up like flowers. And we also want the people who have been under specific guidelines to see that there are places to be that are not necessarily here. You do not need to be in the city you are in. If you are thinking of moving, this might be a time. If you are thinking of staying, please look into other things. Okay. I want to see what kind of other things, because that is so vague. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I got slimed. For me as a reader, I feel like that's, I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like okay, that's all seems like pretty cut and dry. But I kind of want to know other things. And so I think I'm going to do one that's other things for everyone and other things for Dave, this deck. Okay. Other things for everyone for the next 2+ months. Other things. I'm seeing like trees. I'm definitely seeing like trees, planting, volunteering, getting out and working with any sort of volunteer organization can lead to job leads. That messes with your unemployment. However, don't take my advice on that, but at least getting outside and networking and meeting people. Striking is great if you can do it. I'm not seeing necessarily disguise striking, but there are ways to support either through social media or monetarily that can help people. But another general thing for, if you're somebody undergoing stress at this time. Okay, that's one. Yeah, okay, that one. Nope, no, that's not you. Is it you? Yes, okay. Okay. So I have a deck that is my personal kind of just cards that I've made. One of them is actually a card from my old neighbor that we babysat her dog. And cool dog. I've just always kept it. I kept it in my deck.
Good boy.
So, okay, what is the message for everyone? This is a time of healing. This is a time for working through anything negative that has been said to you on set, in rooms, with people that do not respect who you are, people that want to treat you like a grateful cog. It is time to undo some of that in ways that you know how, time to process those emotions. That might be done on the picket lines. That might be done in private. That might be done with other friends who are currently not working. But please know you are not just a cog. There's Forrester singing. Okay. So that was this card. I am healing. I am healed. I am the healer. This is my special card that actually I think I had in the deck twice at some point because it likes to come up. But it's this whole thing of like, you don't have to be healed. Everybody's always healing, and everybody's always healing somebody else. So everybody's got those three. Everybody has that potential. This one, actually, I was trying to get Dave's help on. I wrote it right before I was like, oh, this one wants to come up. And I was like, I can't remember if it's Angel is the centerfold or Angel in the centerfold, but this one really wanted to come. And so I was like, well, does everybody need to be Jay Giles' band? Which one is it?
My angel is the centerfold.
Angel is the centerfold.
That's
okay.
The song.
My blood runs cold.
My
okay.
liberties have just been sold.
Yeah. Okay. So this whole thing. So this part, what is this advice for everybody? Is I'm hearing like, it's not necessarily like social media. It's not that, like, I'm feeling this break of like, don't make it about social media. Don't make it about, know that you have more power. It's like exploring your body and like treating yourself like you are the centerfold, treating yourself like a centerfold, not necessarily being like, I'm going to do some influencing and sponsor a famous makeup brand, but it's like, it's this sense of vanity is not vain, of taking care of yourself, of taking care of your body, of loving your body. As far as like line of work, I'm not hearing that's like a line of work, but it is a form of healing, of like being able to look at yourself in the mirror. Okay. Oh, okay. So then this is our final card. Gracias, Jumbo, cool dog.
Good boy.
Good boy. So I want to hear, what is this one? Jumbo. And Jumbo means hello. Hello, thank you. Thank you. Hello. Okay, what is this? Customer service. I mean, that's kind of a given, but I'm feeling customer service is going to be helpful for some of you listening to this, telling a friend. That's the clue. But also I'm going to look and see, because Jumbo is a dog. I'm like, is this animal? I'm not feeling necessarily animal work. Like I was definitely hearing like volunteering around food and plants, but like animal work isn't coming strong for whoever is listening to this or telling somebody. But it is like, yeah, customer service was the big message. Okay, what else behind customer service? What else behind customer service? Oh, finding new ways, figuring out new ways to directly sell. And if that's like making shirts and hats like in a sustainable way and directly selling things to people. So especially people that are creative, we have so many creatives that are being affected by this. If you're not WGA, if you're not a writer, you might be affected by it because your show can't go back to work. And so I'm seeing like it's literally directly selling things to people is the advice for the next 2 months. So figure out what it is you want to directly sell to somebody. And figure out how you want to do that. Do you want to just Venmo people? Like, what do you want to do? So figure that out. All right. And I'm going to read for Dave.
Oh, here we go.
Yes. I'm going to read for Dave. Oh, it's the song of his people. All right. I'm going to read for Dave. Let's see. This doesn't want to work with Dave right now. Who wants to work with Dave? Dave is my partner, if you didn't know. And I read for Dave here and there. David, you consider yourself like fairly skeptical.
I have some skepticism.
Yeah, but you're very open to things. Is this for Dave? Not today. So funny. They're like, no, not that one. No, not that one. This. Okay, got it. This is for Dave today. Is there anything that you want to know? And it doesn't have to be about the strike. It doesn't have to be about anything. Do you want me to just give you some stuff?
Yeah, I don't have anything jumping to the front of my mind.
Okay. Great. Okay.
Still nothing. I'm trying to think of something.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I'll think for it. I'll do the thinking for you. How about that?
Excellent.
The first words I heard when I connected in to what you need to know, and this is like our first clue, is vestigial tail. Vestigial tail, like literally that piece of our spine that used to be a tail that kind of got, nubbed smaller and smaller. So I don't really know what that clue is. So we'll put a pin in that, write it down in your mind, vestigial tail. We're not going to know what that means just yet. But that's our first clue. What does Dave need to know? Look at 3 cards. Okay, which 3? We already showed you. Thank you. Okay, is this a sentence? No, do not make it a sentence. Okay, what do we need to know? Okay, this is Marcella Kroll's Sacred Symbols Oracle deck. I love it. It's very pretty. Dave got 3 cards. Magic, courage.
Motley Crue, David Bowie.
Motley Crue, David Bowie, and then
Where the Wild Things
and
Are.
Where the Wild Things Are, and Shadow. So magic, courage, shadow. So what needs to come through for Dave? You are ignoring the magic that is inside of you. You are ignoring the talents that you do have. We are talking about your ability to assemble. You have such an ability to assemble other people. And please know that the timing is excellent for this over the next 2 months. The ability to assemble is a big clue for you. So this was around magic, number 3. You are a magical being. Time to stop hiding the awe-inspiring abilities you have to connect to the divine. They don't want me to read this whole thing to you. They kind of want me to pick Yeah. So this phrase, find what suits you best, is popping. Let's see. Yeah, find what suits you best, approach things with curiosity. Yeah, it's this feeling of curiosity. Ask yourself what needs to be assembled. Ask yourself what needs to be assembled. And it's like, because you're somebody that I know super well, it can be difficult to read for Dave because sometimes his work, like the things that he's working through, affect me. And so that can kind of be a little bit muddy. And there's things about me I'm not allowed to know. So I can get some things, but not all. So he can be kind of a tough one to read for me, but also fun. But magic, I'm like hearing that really loud again, like assemble, assemble, assemble. And this is your gift. And you're this feeling of like you're ignoring your magic. What does that bring up for you?
Magic, first of all, makes me think of the Dio album Magica,
Okay, that's good.
but that's probably not helpful. Maybe it's time to start writing.
Okay. Yeah, writing. Let me see.
No one else is doing it.
Let me see. So some of you on here know that I assign numbers sometimes. 1 being low, 5 being high. So for Dave, for the next 2 months, writing, 1 being low, 5 being high, 5, 5, 5. Okay, writing is good. Writing is a 5. Anything else coming?
Well, the various projects I keep honking off about.
Okay, do you want to give them code names?
Uh,
You need also to say Project A and Project B, and so I don't know.
Oh, okay. So
just do that. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let me think about
and also that way so you don't blow them
right.
These people stealing your projects here.
Yeah, someone else's.
Yeah, we'll do it that way. So as long as you know what Project A is and Project B is and all that, you don't need to tell me.
I'm going to go A, B, and C.
Okay. All right. So
I just got to remember which one I assigned.
Yeah, just remember which ones you assign, because I mean, I'm not going to know, but maybe by your reaction, I'll know. Or, you'll take it with you.
I feel like I should write them down because I'm going to forget them.
Yeah, you can. Go ahead. I'm not going to look. No peeking. I'm going to look in the chat as we're going. This is kind of hard for me to channel and chat, so I'm a little bit like, what? Do I like horror movies? I was with somebody for a long time who did, and I like ones with good characters. Yes, I like rock music. Okay. Oh, I got some good questions. It has to be an intuitive question, please. Like if you want to ask me personal, fun questions, we'll save that for an AMA. All right. But let's see. Okay. Dave. Project A. Coming back in. Yeah, I'm hearing, because that happened with the chat, I'm feeling like this feeling of, with Project A, I'm hearing fielding. And so I don't know what that means, but it's that word of fielding, and I see you doing like this almost like riot wall security thing happening. So Project A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 being low, 5 being high, 10. So what Project A is a 10. So sometimes that can mean 2. When I get 2 5s like that, it can mean, or sometimes I'll get 20 and then it's 4 of those. So that can mean two sets of 5 for Project A, or 2 things. So it could also just be like it's really strong, but just know that's how it's interpreted. So Project B, we're moving on to that. Go ahead and think about Project B. Okay, connect. For this project, I'm going to need you to feel it in your gut. And I'm going to go there too. Project B, in your gut. What do we need to know about this for the next 2 months? Project B. For the next 2 months, on a scale of 1 to 5, this is low. This is like a 1 or 2 for the next 2 months. So let it gestate. Let it kind of cook. It's not that it's not going to happen. It's just like gestating. It's just still working. So just kind of it's back burner for now. If you want to do a little, it's not going to hurt it. But just like you don't have to focus your time and energy on it. Okay, Project C. Where are we moving for this? This feels very head-based. I'm going to move to your head. Come with me. Project C. Ooh, I am hearing like waves, ocean. If this is something you need to do by the shore, it's a boat. Like it's feeling very, not necessarily nautical, but it is feeling very like it doesn't feel like a group project. I don't know. It might be one, but there's a piece that's you by yourself with it. And so for the next 2 months, please show me on a scale from 1 to 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Like my head can't not be 5 enough. And so it feels, but it does feel like you're doing a lot of solo work on it. You're doing a lot of solo processing, solo thinking. You are such a collaborator and again, assembler. Oh, this is when this courage card is coming. This was for Project C. This courage card is you have to have the courage to do it on your own and take that time. And it's not necessarily about validation. It's not like for some people that like going solo is like, but who's going to validate me? But for you, it's about having the courage to do it and to formulate and to speak to truth. Like your throat is really, again, this is very in your head and it's very like throat, get it out, like get it out of you. Get it out of you. Don't move on to that yet. Okay. Did any of that resonate so far for those 3? Okay. Was anything surprising, disappointing?
Yeah. Do you want to know what they are?
If as long as you're comfortable sharing with it's public.
Well, the first one's going to happen. I was thinking about the Trippy Band show and what I need to put together for it.
Okay.
The second one is the live show I've been talking about for years.
That one's always cooking.
It is.
It's always cooking.
I had a conversation with one of my collaborators last night who was kind of runs hot and cold on this show.
Yeah.
And he had an idea yesterday that I don't really agree with about the direction it should take.
Yeah.
So that's kind of me gestating on it.
Yeah. This is
and the
protect that one.
The third one is book writing in general.
Yeah. Yeah. Get yourself a little cabin by the sea. If you can afford it.
There's certainly nautical aspects.
Yes.
To the book that I've been paid to write.
Well, there is a lot of write on your own, not with others that was coming through.
Well, yeah. And, I just kind of found my own voice in this thing.
Yeah.
With my collaborators.
So this is when Shadow's coming in, is talking about this. So what is the shadow aspect for Dave on writing this book? Please show me the shadow aspect on Project C. I do not think that I will be good enough. I do not think that people will want to know or read what I have to say. I'm a ding dong dumbass. Like it feels very like you're not valuing your opinion because you surround yourself with brilliant people, but you yourself are also brilliant. And that is not just an intuitive read, that's also a very personal read. So that's a very biased read. Yeah. But what came through was not that second piece. I'm just like, dude, you're fucking brilliant. And just because you have smart and funny friends doesn't mean you're not also smart and funny and talented and capable. So it's being able to see yourself also as the smart and funny friend who's talented and capable. So that's your journey for the next 2 months.
All right.
Hope you like that.
Well, I'll go down to the basement and get out the pencil and paper.
Yeah. And as far as like when I always like to caveat anytime we work together a little differently, but when I work with one-on-one with other clients, I like to tell people accessible ways to do things. And so that thing that came through of like, oh, get like a cabin by the sea is like, that's not very accessible for a lot of people. It's very expensive. Camping is not. Doing a day trip is not. There are ways to do it cheaply and freely. So I'm going to offer that advice too.
Yeah, we could camp in the backyard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we could. I'm not going to pretend like I know what your financial situation is. So I'll be like, yeah. Yeah, it's for a lot of people, especially right now, I want to offer anything that is accessible to do. So I hope that was fun.
Yeah.
The payment for this is do something nice for somebody. Dave did something extremely nice for me. I am the recipient of something nice, and that doesn't have to be what happens, but I made a trophy that came back looking so much like shit that
it was spelled wrong.
It was spelled wrong. It was 10 years of being Sarah on Toonami. This is like one little Toonami thing that's happening. But Dave did this for me. He got me a trophy that lights up. And because it's like see-through, you might not be able to see that it says Dana Swanson, Sarah on Toonami, 10-year anniversary. I got rid of the word years because I was too burned. April 27th, 2023, stay gold.
Put a piece of white paper behind that. Everyone
Yeah.
will be able to see it.
Yeah, so that's what Dave did. He really, I bawled right before this. So
And
that's
that was my goal, was to try
Yeah.
to make you look like you've been crying right before you were on camera.
Yes. So that's your reading, Dave. That's how
Cool.
this is done. But this will be for my chat buddies. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Oh, take your Coke Zero with you.
It's empty. I need a new one.
All right. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
All right. You guys are still here. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to read some of these. I can imagine it'd be harder for an up-and-coming writer to get experience with shorter seasons, smaller writing staff. Yeah. Oh, okay. Going back through, let's see. What do you like doing for fun? Helping people. I like to help people for fun. I love performing. I am Dave's show that he was just talking about. I'm helping him with a show in July, a live show, not a written show, a live show, where we do tribute bands, and it's very fun. So very much looking forward to that. But other than that, I hang out with my cat. That's like, I don't know if that's fun. It's more like duty. When you have an elderly cat, it's duty. Does anyone have an elderly cat? It's duty. It's not like, I love him so much, but it's also like, oh my God, just eat your food, buddy. Just eat it, please. Okay. Let's see. What do we got here? We had a lot of Toonami questions, and that's fine. Maybe the book is Dave's White Whale a la Moby Dick. I think it was. So if you have an intuitive question for me, go ahead and ask. If not, I'm just going to do general reading for anybody that's going to watch this, that's going through something this week. If I missed your question, please just ask it. Oh, Stacy is 13. She's getting there. Sweet baby. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's see. Oh, sweet. Okay. We got a lot of questions answered. Ooh, okay. So I'm going to do a reading for anybody watching this. If you're too scared to ask a question, it's okay. Ooh, well, we got a question, so I'll do that. I knew there was one coming. Oh, yes. 143 NFT. I just saw a 43. I feel like you and I have 43 in common. 43 is my lucky number because it's not just love you, but it's part of my birth time. So you and I share that so hard. Okay, where's writing on the 1-5 scale for me? Anything I need to get out there? Oh, I love reading for you. Okay, let me get this. All right, honey. And let me know if I'm allowed to say your name. I realize I'm kind of outing some of you in your handles. So let's see. Where's writing on? They're like, want me to pull cards for you too. They're like, keep with this deck, pull cards. Oh, and of course, Tarot wants to come for you, of course. So they're like, pull one from here. Okay, before I do the scale. Okay, and then over here, mixing and matching, making things fun. Okay. Oh, which one? There's something I'm supposed to use for you. Selenite. We have selenite wanting to go on my neck for you. Okay. Okay, which one? Which one for 143? Of course, Drew. Thank you, baby. All right. So a lot always comes up with tarot for you and just playing. And I'm even feeling like holding cards in your hands when you're thinking about getting messages. It might even just be like the tactile feeling of holding the cards and in holding tiles. You have a lot of tile workers in your Akashic record. Okay. So I got 2 cards for you, one oracle and one tarot. And before we sort of answer this question on writing, they're like, get this out of the way. So for you, shift. You got to shift your thinking on it. You got to shift your thinking on it. 9, like even how you break apart numbers. Like, okay, What is 9? Okay, it's 6 upside down. That's entertaining. Okay, it's 3 sets of 3. That's entertaining. It's 9 times 1. That's entertaining. Like, how can you break up a 9? Like, it's even thinking, it's literally like breaking apart your thinking and starting from scratch and going like, what are the million ways I can do this? I'm hearing like science problem. Like, what are the number of ways I can approach this problem and come at it from like a fun way? Does this thing need hot? Does it need cold? Like, just have fun with it and treat it like a scientific method of like, this is my hypothesis and this is how I'm going to achieve the experiment. So, oh, Alan Drew Dominy. What wants to come through for 4 of Cups? Oh, wow. Okay. So I got 4 of Cups in reversed and they were like, turn the card over. Okay. I'm supposed to show you, we worked with this deck before. I'm supposed to show you the back of this deck. They just kept saying, turn the card over, turn the card over. And I'm like, is it supposed to be reversed? It's supposed to be reversed. But they're like, just look at the back of the card. They like, don't want me to show you the front of the card, which is very funny. So this 4 of Cups in reverse. Okay, it's very funny because it looks like there's boobs in the hill. Like they're having me break apart even this tarot card in a way that is not how I would normally do it. Yeah, I see boobs. It just looks like boobs. It looks like there's a cat that's crying and they're like, "Okay, well, but that crying looks like a person in a hood." Okay, so who's this person in a hood? It looks like actually a motorcycle helmet. So I'm seeing like motorcycle helmet, boobs. Like, what is this about? So I don't know if you're writing a story about that, but it feels really fun. What else is coming? What else is coming from this card? Okay, connect, break apart, shift, connect, break apart, shift. Like they're literally like asking me to tear apart this card, and I'm not okay with that. Like that's not how, like, I don't want to. Because it is a very special deck to me. So I'm just like, I don't want to tear apart my card. But like if I were to cut it in half, what would I see? I would see a person crying in their own reflection. If I were to tear apart the card and see almost the other half in a mirror, I would see a person crying in their own reflection. I would see pants making a bell. So all of this is like messages for how to approach how you're going to be playing with these on your own. So it's like, seeing things in the card that are just like, that kind of looks like that. And even like, okay, if I split the card and made a mirror image, and they're letting me show you the card now. So like I was looking at it and I was like, okay, there's boobs. Okay, there's like this motorcycle helmet, like hood thing that I saw. Okay, if I did this, if I did that, if I split the card in half, if I cut it, and that's a person crying in their own reflection, or it looks like a bell. So that kind of stuff is like how your team wants to work with you on not just this concept of like, how is writing for me, but how is tapping into my intuition is like, it's breaking what you know, breaking everything you know, not necessarily reading a book or looking on YouTube and trying to figure it out. But for you, it's like you are developing your own method on how to read, and it's going to break open. So before we do writing, I'm actually going to do reading, and like specifically reading with cards and this whole concept of breaking open. So show me the vibe on this for the next, so they're saying how long? Next week. We're going to do next week for you. How long is the next week? 5 for next week, and it's going to kind of taper off. It's going to feel really strong this week to like kind of play with this new style of reading, and then you might kind of get frustrated and be like, I don't get it, and then have to take some time, and then it might come to you. Okay, yes, you're starting to understand. I love it. I was just watching a documentary about cats right before this. Yeah, there might be things that come to you after you take a break, so just honor your breaks with it. Okay. Okay, what else is coming? They're like, okay, just keep the cards out. We're gonna talk about writing because they really want to talk about. Okay, so let's see, writing in this lifetime. I'm gonna like really. So we just did a week timeline. This is writing in this lifetime. Writing in this lifetime for Drew. I'm getting a 4. It's like lifetime wise, it's a 4. Okay, show me next 10 years. Next 10 years, a 5. Okay, how about next 5 years? 4. Next year? It's a 2 for, like, just the next year, so it seems like it's going to be, like, slowly building this year and then hit pretty well around 5 years. 10 years is gonna be like, "Hell yeah," and then it's gonna kinda slowly get just, like, a little bit down. So that's kinda what I'm feeling on this, like, arc of writing for you, is, like, this is the year to kinda do everything you need to do to get there the next couple years, and then, like, by year 5, you'll be like, "Okay, I'm doing pretty well." And you're a brilliant writer, so I love reading what you write. You write some of my favorite lyrics forever. Um, let's see. What else is coming? Are there any other messages for Drew before I do a general? Yes, we always have so many messages for you. Thank you for coming to check. Thank you for coming to check your messages. Um, Take time to shower yourself in joy. Remember all of the good things you have done for yourself. Have reverence for self, but specifically write out all of the joyful things you have done for yourself, especially in the last 2 years. Make an inventory of your joy so you can see how kind you have been to yourself. It will help pull you out of when you are being unkind to yourself. Just to see that directory, an inventory of being kind and having joy. So, how are you being asked to do this? You can do this in whatever way calls. It can be drawing, writing it all down, putting it in a journal. I love working with cards. If I'm doing a sort of like inventory, sometimes just making a list, whatever, like whatever calls to you. So play around with it. But this like inventory of joy is coming. So, and it's not like gratitude journal, how some people do. It's not like that necessarily, but it's like because gratitude's one thing, but this is beyond that. It's like look at all the cool stuff you've done for yourself. Look at that. Because that's accomplishment. That's an accomplishment journal. And that's the kind of stuff that helps you not only build self-esteem, but also helps you work with other people. I did this in the last 2 years. Here's what I'm really good at. Like that practice of talking about yourself to others is going to like really kick things up. I have no idea if this mic is working. The way that this live went, y'all. Ah. I feel like my volume is so low. Oh, okay. Let's see what else is happening. We love it. We love it. What else is coming, people? All right. General. I'm being asked to do a general. Put it back. This deck? Yes. Thank you. All right, general reading. What do we got? Not me. Just these two. Just these two. This is behind. This is the hider card. Okay. Some of you know that I do what I call hider cards. Oh, wonderful messages. Thank you and everybody. Yeah, you got it. Thank you. I just do something nice for somebody. And I feel like you always do nice things for people. Mike sounds fantastic. Woo, I'm making sure it's not this. Boop, boop, boop. It's this. Boop, boop, boop. We don't know. We don't know. We have no idea what mic is being activated. YouTube didn't let me choose. Ugh, or maybe I didn't get there in time. Okay, let's see. What is coming? What is coming for the general for everybody? Oh, okay. Even that was a message of you might not get to choose. You might not get to choose and have choice in the next 2 weeks. Things will still feel like chaos. And please hold tight. Please know that everybody is also in the chaos. And if you need to hold on to somebody else, the strength will be stronger. It will be a good bond. That is where the strength will be in the next 2 weeks, depending on each other, reaching out to people you have not seen, just making amends, burying hatchets, leaning on each other. And also, forgiveness is You can forgive people and never have to deal with them. That needed to come through. So 10 of Cups, it's like this very nostalgic, like in most decks, it's like this rainbow and everybody's like having a great time and partying. And this is like you're covered in cats. Like it's gonna feel like I'm feeling safety. Like it is, find safety in home and in connections that you miss. Safety in home and in connections that you miss is the big message. Anything else coming from this? Yeah, it feels like it's like the end of a cycle and completion. So cycles are ending. But it is like this whole thing around if you feel unsteady, just clean your house, enjoy your home, find old things you haven't seen in a while, take in the bounty of your house, and what it's done for you. Okay. Okay, we have 9 of swords for everybody. 9 of swords, but they're like, don't even worry about that. Okay, so they want me to count like how many of each. So, all right, what are you asking me to do here about with 9 of swords, everybody? Hmm. Yeah, it feels like they're asking me to look at the swords that are upside down, and they're like, things are hanging in the balance. Like you may feel like you have this sword just above you, which is typically more of a, I think, 4 of swords, because they were pointing out like the 4 swords. So it's more of a things are hanging in the balance. You never know when they're gonna drop energy to it. But you still have all these other swords to deal with. It's fine. What is coming around this? Yeah, and like it's this feeling of you might not be sleeping, there might be trouble sleeping, but it's okay. Like just have all of your arsenal with you. And if that's that you have to take something before bed, remember to take something before bed. If you have to put on good socks or put on an eye mask, like it's just taking all the precautions because sleep might be a little more challenging, but it's not a must. It's not like you're gonna have bad sleep. It's like, okay, just prevent it. Like prevent it before it happens is the message that of that. But it's also, yeah, get that divine rest. Use it for rest. Like there's all these messages around home and safety and using things for rest. And I don't really feel like deception. I just feel like there's this potential for exhaustion but not being able to recover. And so just do everything you can to make sure that your rest is quality. If that's turning off your phone, putting in another room, like make sure you're getting quality rest. Is the message that's coming. And then what I call the hider card. This card wanted to hide behind everybody. So why did the star want to hide behind everybody? I always think of the star as like part of it I think of as Aquarius, but I also think of it as Leo, which are so opposite. So what does the star want to say? Okay, galactic messages. Um, some of you may work with a galactic team, some of you may not. So what has to come with galactic messages? Okay. Am I getting a galactic message? Hidden galactic message is the sort of code I'm cracking here. Oh, I have a past life here who was a channel, Seraphine, and she has a message. This message is general for everyone. She had some rough stuff go down as a channel. Know that the most important message to trust is yourself. You might be getting messages from beings that claim to be great, that claim to be high and mighty and on high and on above, and from different star systems, galactic messages, messages from interdimensionals. But please know that the most important messages to trust are from self, from higher self, from soul. Those are the ones to reorient yourself to. Especially if something feels like, "I'm not gonna do that." The example of Dana not wanting to destroy the card, because if they had listened to that message straight on, they would not have a card that meant something to them. But they, in the moment, listened to self. And while they did want to give a proper message for their client and for their friend, they also wanted to ensure that they could survive afterwards. So I'm gonna give you a story of when I did not listen to self. Actually, a couple when I was really, really getting into reading, and it was like the whole GI Joe of knowing is half the battle, is like that whole thing. And it can be really dangerous if you don't know the whole deal, you know some but not all. I was doing work where I would get like, "Oh, I need to go do this right now." And it'd be like a spirit. Typically for me it's spirits. For other people it might be galactic people. But for me it's ghosts, spirits. Or sometimes it's animals telling me to go do something and I'll go do it. And so for the first year or a couple months or whatever that I was doing this for a while of like I had several months where I was like, I'm gonna whatever they ask me, I'm gonna do it. And then I realized that that is terrible. That's a terrible practice. Don't do that. You always have the option to listen to yourself. You always have the option to be like, wait a minute, what's actually best in this situation? Because they might threaten you. I had one threaten me and be like, if you don't go get me this donut, I'm going to make your life so hard tonight. And I was like, okay, I better go get this donut. I don't want life to be hard for us tonight. And it just like made the whole day suck. So don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Listen to self. Sometimes you'll learn a big old lesson from that, but that's the general reading for everybody. If there are no more intuitive questions today, I'm going to peace out. And yeah, I will save all of the other questions for an AMA. It's a little bit different than this. This one's for you, not about me. So that's that. I hope everybody who is watching and is watching later enjoys this and do something nice for somebody if this resonated. Bye-bye. Ah.